Hello, I'm Davina, and hello to all of you bold, beautiful, brilliant, and highly evolved souls. Today, I think I'm just going to talk about the terror of abandonment. I'm sure I've done videos on this before, but I just keep getting more and more sort of deeper into this. So I just kind of want to talk about what's happening because I just feel like that's what I want to do. So you can listen if you like. Um, Yeah, the terror of abandonment is very, very real. I'm just, opening my eyes to this more and more. Um, I've I'm unemployed currently. I'm kind of between nanny jobs, and it's been a really terrifying time. Um, this is week 3. Um, but a whole bunch of stuff has just been coming up. Depression, periods of just darkness and despair, and a lot of terror, a lot of fear, and just almost kind of a real sort of freeze mode. Um, but at the same time, I can feel that inner child energy, which is she's so frightened and she feels desperate. And the first little bit that I was unemployed, I'm just like seeking, trying to find any job. Well, maybe this will do. And it's really, I just go into this, like my mind is racing, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I could do that job. Maybe I could work 5 days a week, and oh, I could do that. Maybe I could. And it's always start with this, maybe I could, like um, maybe I could work evenings. Maybe I could work as a room attendant at a hotel. Maybe I could, so this is the kind of people pleasing voice, this voice of like desperation and like kind of like I'll do anything to kind of survive. And I realize that this kind of keeps me in the survival mode. And yeah, it's just like it's a very strong thing, this survival mode that we went into as a child. And we were triggered into that fight, flight, freeze, fawn state. And it pretty much stayed on. And so, I feel like literally my whole childhood was spent in fear because it's always there. And I'm always hearing my inner child saying, I feel like I'm going to die. I feel like I'm going to die. I feel like I'm going to die. And sometimes it's just the word die. And it's sometimes for me, it's hard to believe, like I can't quite like wrap my head around that, but to really like think of what it is like from a child's perspective. And I think of some of the children I've cared for. And when their parent is turning their back on them when they're upset or they're crying or they're invalidating their child and just calling them silly or needy or whatever, troublemaker, and turning away from that child. And you in those moments is when you start, you come into this world, you're expansive self, creative and curious, and you're eager to learn. Like kids are driven to learn, driven to connect. And you know they're excited, they're exuberant, they're just like go go go. And what happens is, like, piece by piece, your parents tell you through their abuse and through their neglect that we don't like that part of you, and we don't like that part of you, and that part of you is not acceptable either here. And so you get the message that not all of you is welcome here, and you get the feeling, the real fear that you have to start packing these parts away, your needs, your feelings, and you start like throwing that away and pushing that down. And then you like become like just this tiny, like the little box, you get squished into this little box. Once you were expansive, and now you're just squeezed into this little box so that your parents can manage you. So you become compliant and you conform to what they want, so that you're just like, yes, I'm just your cute and fun little child. and I do anything that you want me to do, and I never cry, and I never show emotions. I don't bother you because that would bring up your shame. And but really, it's a terrifying place for a child to be. Terrifying, because they think, like, I'm sure that I had in my, like, I can feel my inner child right here. um you know any sign that that you are going to be disapproved of is horrifying, because disapproval equals possibility of abandonment. Abandonment equals possibility of death, because if you're small, you cannot take care of yourself. You utterly are dependent on your parents completely. You wouldn't live probably a week, if you're a small child, 1, 2, 3, 4 years old, you wouldn't make it. And children know this somehow intuitively or instinctively. And so when your parents, narcissists constantly show disapproval, constantly. Um, you're a funny one, and oh, you had a poop. I can smell your poop. Even things like that. They're like, you're being unreasonable and all that. Why are you screaming? And what's that scowl on your face? And I don't know why you like that toy. And that's not the way you use a broom. You do it like this. Everything is disapproval, disapproval. I don't like you the way you are. And you get the message that something's fundamentally wrong with you. My parent, you believe your parents, because, well, they're your parents and you don't even know who you are yet. You depend on that. They're a mirror for who you are. And so if they're telling you, I don't like you, there's something wrong with you, you're not acceptable, then you're going to internalize that. And through that feeling of like, I'm unacceptable, I'm despicable, I'm unworthy, I'm not lovable the way I am, from that root is the terror and the fear and the deep, deep fear that causes us to go into these fight, fight, fawn, freeze modes. And for many of us highly sensitive people, it's the fawning mode that's often the strongest one. And often flight, for me, I think flight is sort of tied into that. Feeling like I got to be doing and moving, and like it's kind of like, feeling like I gotta do something, I gotta do something to survive. I can't just sit still, and it's hard to rest. And the fawning is just like, I can just be laying down and fawning thoughts like about helping someone, or I'm gonna do this video to help everybody, or I'm gonna respond on a website, and maybe I can help this person. And with the job thing, like, really feeling like coming from a place of desperation. And this morning I just sat with it for a little bit, and I could just get a little bit of like I've just been enveloped in it. I've just been overwhelmed by this flashback, and I'm just starting to get a little space where I can feel, okay, here's me, here's my adult self, and here's my inner child. And validate, and yes, you're feeling a lot of fear, and that makes sense that you're feeling a lot of fear right now. Given that your parents are being so nasty and mean to you, it's understandable that you feel this way. And also from there, just sort of like breathing and just holding space for those feelings, and they just sort of start to dissipate a little bit. At least they were for me this morning. And I just got a sense of like more of like, okay, this whole job thing is a trigger. It's a trigger, and it's triggering me into all of this kind of really core survival mode. And if I follow that, it can take us over, and we can just end up like just following and just being driven by this fear and driven by the shame. And then it's just endless, because, we keep going like that. And it's not, I don't want to say that's a bad thing, because it's uncontrollable and it's inevitable. And it's not our fault. Um, But, if you can start to get that space, and it takes so long, like I've been doing this for so long, it feels like years and years of just, observing what's going on with my thoughts, observing what's happening in my body, observing mindfulness. And yeah, but then, just getting that bit of space so that you can act then from your more grounded adult self that's like, okay, yes, this is a thing, I need to deal with this, and I need to, like, whatever trigger you're experiencing, it tells you that, there's action to be taken. Maybe a boundary needs to be set, or you need to find a new job, or maybe you need to leave a friendship, or whatever it is. But to do so from that more grounded adult self, if you can. And it is so, so hard. I'm constantly just reacting out of that child self, and it seems so normal. I think it's just sitting back these couple of weeks has given me a little bit of space, but that survival mode feels so normal. It's such my normal, my baseline is just shame and fear every day. I wake up and I'm in shame and fear from the get-go, eating breakfast, and the first thoughts in my mind are, what am I going to do about this? And how am I going to do this? And and it's like that. It's that really fast moving, rapid. I mean, I'm still in it right now. But it's hard to like realize that, okay, that is the survival mode thinking. That's my flashback thinking mind, my trauma brain, and I don't even know what healthy thinking sounds like, or but anyway, I just wanted to share this with you. And yeah, this is such an incredibly difficult journey. So wherever you are, you're exactly where you need to be. And yeah, just wanted to share how real and how very strong and how very just powerful this root of fear abandonment is. And yeah, it takes time to heal this, God. And I'm wishing you many, many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening. And I am Davina at Boldness Blooming. Thanks for watching.